Hello, Happy New Year. So, we are back with a new video today. I am going to be uh, reacting to some of my favorite book covers of 2024. There's basically a LitHub list of the best book covers that came out last year. And yeah, so I'm just going to be cherry picking some of the covers from that list. Quick introduction. Hi, my name is Shalini. And if you're new here, then welcome to my channel. And hope you enjoy your stay here. If you're not new to my channel, then welcome back. It's so good to have you here. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel. The first book cover that really caught my eye would have to be Martyr. It's by Kavi Akbar. There's just something about the color yellow, and I don't personally like really love the color yellow, but this particular shade of yellow really speaks to me. And also the use of negative space is just done really well. You can see how the woman holding the sword and is on the horse. There's basically written New York Times bestseller and a novel. It just in the speech bubble thingy, and yeah, this cover is just chef's kiss. We are going to move on to the next book cover that I absolutely love, which is Thirst. The cover design was done by Caitlin Hall. Absolutely love the two bite marks in between a novel and translated by Heather Cleary, like perfection, no notes, and also the marble statue. I absolutely love it. It's sexy. It is scary. The next cover that I have to talk about is a book that didn't live up to my expectations, but the book is really quite popular, and I think it's because of its striking cover. It is butter, color of butter, yellow, and you also have this cow. You have red fingerprints. It does not accurately represent what the book is about, because I totally picked up the book without looking at the synopsis, by just looking at the cover. If I made a video about my worst books of the year, butter would definitely be on it. It was such a hugely anticipated book, but it didn't quite hit it for me. I think the book's success can be owed mostly to the striking cover, in my opinion, because even some of my friends, after reading the book, they said they didn't get what they thought they would get from the book. And yeah, we are just going to move on to my next favorite cover in from this list, which is Plastic. I love the font. I love these bold 3D. There's nothing to the background. The font is what really will draw you to the cover. Who did this cover? Oh, so the cover design and illustration was done by Tyler Comrie. So brilliant job, Tyler. We are going to move on from this to my next favorites. It's a very cheeky cover, you would say. It is Love Junkie by Robert Plunkett. So the tagline says one of America's funniest, gayest writers. Okay, so I'm down for that. But if this is a nonfiction cover, it will take me. I don't know. I will try to pick it up this year, but I am not sure if I will. But I absolutely love the cover. Perfect no notes. I saw this book 2 days ago on my Twitter feed. And again, I literally do not know anything about the book. Give me a beautiful cover, and I don't need to know anything else. I would not look up the synopsis, and I already have added this book to my TBR, and it's The Obscene Bird of Night by Jose Donoso. And the cover design is done by Joanne Wong. Joanne, this is excellent work. There's just something about the cover. Okay, maybe it's the way it's in like this scrapbook format. So I do love the colors green and brown. It just gives sort of this quiet luxury to me. So I think this book has something to do with the Jesus. But you know what? I love the cover. So this book, I do have a physical copy of it. It is Thunderhead by Miranda Darling. I love the pearls kind of like scattered, floating in space. And it just looks like very strange, but yet you could just stare at it. It is definitely the cover. I would put it up in a gallery exhibit. It's gorgeous. So the next book cover that I'm really drawn to is The Coin by Yasmin Zahid. I did request a copy of the book, but they wouldn't like send to outside of UK. I think the book is written by a Palestinian. The cover is really weird. The figure is wearing heels. I don't know what sort of an attire that is, but I really love it for some reason. And you have these leopard print heels kicking their feet really high up in the air, and that's it. I cannot look away from the cover. I am quite surprised for someone who doesn't like the color yellow. I have been constantly loving yellow covers. The next book that is on my list, Model Home by River Solomon. There's just something very creepy and sinister. I do not like green. I loathe green. Maybe that's why this cover is absolutely giving off major creepy vibes, creepy land vibes. And no wonder this book is a horror. And also love the fonts. It just is a great way to do a book cover for a horror book. So we are next going to move on to The Ministry of Time. Yeah, I do love the special edition cover of that has like a foiling. It just looks so much more majestic. And knowing what I know about the book, the cover perfectly echoes what is inside of the book. Love the 3D lettering. It's also done in like different colors. So it gives off major space opera vibes to me. It's perfect. So the next book is a book that I haven't heard of it like before I stumble upon this list. It's Mojave Ghost. The color is something that I I vibe. I love colors in beige, brownish, that kind of a shade. Very simple and yet it's beautiful. That's what I love about the cover. And also love the fonts. I love me a good like cursive font. So the next cover that really drew me in is Woo Woo by Ella Baxter. The first thing that I noticed is that two eyes, it's creeping the fuck out of me and it's just staring. Again, love the bold background color, red, and the cover design is done by Nicole Caputo. I think it's a creepy book. I hope it's a creepy book because that's what the cover tells me. Next, we have a book. I just added it to my wish list this other day. It's Nicked by M.T. Anderson. So the cover design is done by Zach Tabal. This is again a book I literally not know anything about, but this is giving me very much gothic and love the typography, also the hand holding the skull, and we have something dripping from the eye socket. I love it. I am immediately drawn by it. And next is a book I have read, and it's actually one of my favorite books I read in 2024. It's The Empuseum. And I love the US cover. The UK cover, the one which I have, is really pretty simple. This cover is so very creepy and it perfectly describes what the story is about. And I think someone wrote in this Lit Hub article that they don't know how this cover got picked. I assume it's because of that skull in front of this Victorian figure. Next is another very creepy cover. There's something about the googly eyes that I do not do not vibe with at all. So we have this head of what, like a, yeah, one of those Greek or Roman heroes, and we have just the skull, the head. Sorry, we have the head, and instead of eyes, we have these googly eyes, and they're looking like sideways. Glorious Exploits is the name of the book by Ferdia Lennon. And I don't know what this book is about, but I have seen this cover a lot on my feed. It is designed by Greg Kulik, and I don't know why, but this does not bring me joy. I'm intrigued because the combination of those eyes, head, is like making me think what could be this book about. So the next book, I really wanted to get a physical copy of this, but I haven't been able to yet. It's Maglu by Otessa Moshfegh. The use of negative space, I think that's what draws me to the cover. I also love when paintings are used on covers, and the fonts. I do not really like the fonts, but the neon effect is what makes this cover all the more striking. The next book cover that really draws me in is Schroeder. Is that how you're supposed to pronounce it? So this is very, very creepy. This is giving the first Omen vibes. It's like someone drew on the cover red, creepy eyes and smiling, really creepy, and actually will might give you nightmares if you think too much about it. Next is a cover of free therapy. And please tell me where I can get some free therapy because I need it. So this has been also blurbed by Sally Rooney. Love a pink color. This would make like a perfect collectible. I'm going to look up the price because I'm really I want this book on my shelf. They're so fun. And I don't know if these can be like if these are like designed or if you can just actually tear the tabs. That would be so cool. Next up is another cover that brilliantly uses the negative space. In my opinion, is this a frog or a tadpole? Whatever, frog. They're crying, and you have this again very grainy black background. The title is Not Waving but Drowning and Other Poems by Stevie Smith. It's designed by Pete Adlington. And the cover is so very simple. Again, there isn't anything much to it. There's basically a frog crying. I hate frogs, absolutely detest frogs, but I want to somehow comfort the frog. I want to know like what is so sad, like what poems are in these. We are moving on to the next book, which I actually very much wanted to read last year, but I didn't really get to it. It is All Force by Miranda July. It was on the Goodreads Choice Awards. And what I love about this cover is that sunshine. This feels very hopeful. It's giving very hopeful. I also love the way the font is like splayed out, like framing the cover. This feels like the ending of an indie movie to me. Perhaps a sad ending, but like quietly hopeful, if that makes any sense. So the next book, Mouth Stories by Paloma Ghosh. So the cover design is done by Adriana Tonello. It makes me really queasy, but I cannot look away from it. The next cover, a series of books. I actually saw the cover of one of these books just yesterday at the bookstore. Annihilation by Jeff Vandermeer. So this is the 10th anniversary edition. We have three books in this series: Annihilation, Authority, and Acceptance. This is giving very nature gone wild. It basically is giving do not fuck with nature. It's strangely beautiful. So, and it also has a bit of foiling effect to it. I didn't find the covers of Authority or Acceptance. I assume they must be sold out. I only saw the cover of Annihilation. The next cover that I love is How to Make Herself Agreeable to Everyone. This cover is very intelligent. This cover is giving me very Sofia Coppola coming of age. I love the way the title is like in different colors and is in one, two, three, four places. Also love the way the photograph is like cut in a certain way, like the half of their face is like cut and all like it's placed like in their hands. I don't know how else to describe it. I don't know. I feel like it's very sad memoir, like shitty childhood or young adulthood, something like that. Something must be shitty. I don't know. That's what basically the vibes I'm getting off of this cover, and I love it. Maybe I will read it. I said maybe because I'm usually not a fan of memoirs. Another like very playful cover, and this is the cover of Mother Naked, and it's written by Glenn James Brown, and the cover design is done by John Gray. Medieval figure, I believe. Their head is like being separated from their shoulders. The title is really intriguing, Mother Naked. It's like they're juggling something that's on fire, and also like against that really sick green color, and it's both playful and also very like, I don't know what's it about, it's very unnerving. Next, I do have to talk about this is another translated book. It's The Abyss. I love the way the translator is kind of like incorporated into the cover design. It's such a clever concept, and I really would love to see this in more translated books. I love everything about the cover. It also wonderfully like explains the title of the book, and I really want to read the book. It's simple and yet so beautiful and haunting. And we have come to the end. And I'm now going to tell you about my best cover of 2024, which is the cover of Intermezzo by Sally Rooney. And let's see who the cover was designed by. So the cover design was done by June Park and Rodrigo Corral, and the art was done by June Park. I actually love both the UK and the US cover. I believe they are on a chessboard. The background is a chessboard, and the chessboard is like these gray and yellow squares, and you have these chess pieces, and the shadow is actually, I think, what is the characters of the book. And there's something, I guess the book is something about how life is a game of chess, and the players are basically the humans. So they are basically chess pieces on a board. It is a cover that is already beautiful. When you pick it up, it becomes more brilliant as you get to know the story. I can't wait to get to know the story. Probably I'm going to get the UK cover, not the US cover, but maybe I will buy myself a copy of the US cover. So these are all of my favorite books of 2024 from the Lit Hub list of the best covers of 2024. Let me know which one of these covers are your favorites, or if you have read any of the books I listed as my favorite covers of 2024. And I will see you in my next video.